I want to be clear, that was not my plan, never my plan.
The St. Louis County Health Department addressing allegations in a new lawsuit claiming it was planning shelter-wide euthanasia at its animal shelter. That lawsuit was filed this week and comes just days before St. Louis County resumes running the Olivet facility.
John Kipper breaks down the lawsuit and how the St. Louis County Health Department plans to transform the animal shelter.
It's unethical.
St. Louis County Health Director Dr. Kanika Cunningham making it clear she never planned mass euthanasia of animals, as the county plans to soon retake over animal shelter operations from the Animal Protective Association.
I just want to be clear, that was not my plan.
This comes as a lawsuit was filed this week claiming the county broke Missouri Sunshine Law. An amended petition First Alert 4 obtained claims the county holds a document called the contingency plan, and that plan called for shelter-wide euthanasia. The lawsuit also states when a citizen requested the plan under Missouri Sunshine Law, Dr. Cunningham responded, "There is not a responsive record for your request." Cunningham says a plan was developed dealing with overpopulation and managing intake, but it focused on foster care and adoption programs. But she admits staff did discuss mass euthanasia at some point.
There was, I think, some discussion among team members, but as far as when that came up to me, that is nothing I stand for.
Cunningham also says before, under a different health director, they did over-euthanize animals, citing a 2019 audit.
I think for some reason, some people probably think, oh, maybe that's what we're getting ready to do again. That's completely not true, but it did exist before, not under my leadership.
First Alert 4 obtained the 2019 audit showing in 2018, St. Louis County Animal Care and Control, 25% of dogs and cats they took in were euthanized. That was the third highest rate out of 8 animal shelters in the metro. In a statement, attorney for the plaintiffs, Mark Pedroli, argues county residents are entitled to full and immediate transparency, saying St. Louis County cannot deny the existence of a months-old government record that calls for shelter-wide euthanasia.
Now, St. Louis County will officially take back the animal shelter next week, and they say despite past issues, it's a new regime and it will be a positive change.
Hopefully people will see that we care about the animals, we care about people, and we will make sure that the animals are taken care of.
Cunningham adds they'll soon announce a pilot program for people to volunteer at the shelter. In St. Louis County, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
New tonight.